Red Zone in the lab. Commanders. It's time. Let's get it, homie. Yo, what up? Welcome back to Red Zone in the Lab podcast. I am technical difficulty Deuce in the building, and I know why I'm having technical difficulties. Like, I know why this happened at this time today, because I'm trying to get service from over the pond. Welcome, our boys from the Ludan. Greetings. How your boys doing today, man? Holly Scouts, how y'all feeling today, man?
Yeah, all good, Deuce. Thanks for having me on, mate. Appreciate you. It's good to chop it up with you again. Just a shame we can't see you in person this time round. Hopefully, towards the end of the season, we'll see you.
Of course, because y'all have some hosting duties y'all gotta get prepared for.
Absolutely.
Very true, mate. Very true.
Yeah. Although, what I will say is, any Commanders fans and Commanders Nation who are coming out to London, by all means, come out, enjoy London, enjoy the Colts game, but do see more of the UK. Neither of us are from London. We're about 6 hours from London, so enjoy the rest of England, Wales, and Scotland and Northern Ireland. Go and see it all.
Scouts, how you been, man? How you doing? Been a long time.
Yeah, you're not wrong, man. You're not wrong. It's finally good to catch up with you, man. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, man. Hanging in there, the usual. How about yourself, mate?
Good, man. Hanging tight, man. Hanging tight. Let's get right to it, man. Scouts, who do you hate more? Allegretti or Andrew Wiley?
Straight into it. At this moment, I'm going to say Allegretti still. So I'm more worried that he's going to be the starting centre. Well, at least with Wiley, he's going to be the backup, so as in guard. So I can kind of deal with him being a backup. I just cannot deal with Allegretti being our starter, man. I just can't deal. So, yeah, man. So Allegretti at the moment.
And that's the thing, right? And I think that's one of the I think that's the most important position along the offensive line, right? Especially if we're looking to go more under center. And I know like the left tackle, but we have an athletic quarterback. Not saying that we don't need a dominant left tackle because it's still a premier position, but that center spot, the other spots I'm okay with. So like Scott, like how do you like the ESPN, the national media is really low on our offensive line? Do you have an idea why?
Not really. I mean, last year injuries and I suppose the way that they didn't pass protect very well. I've got to give you that. But when you look at that offensive line, I'm looking at it and saying, well, Laramie Tunsil's clearly top three, definitely top five, probably top three left tackles in the game. Conley, yeah, he's going into his second year, but he looks stronger towards the end of the season, and it was a murderer's road to start off with for Conley. It's a baptism of fire, the amount of pass rushes that he was going against. And then you have veterans in Cosme. You have, Chris Paul, awful in pass pro. I'll give him that. And Biadish was decent. Now, obviously, we don't know what we're going to get with Allegretti at centre or Gulbin if he can make that step up. But I think there's depth in this offensive line, and I don't think it's anywhere near as bad as the media are making out. I'm not saying it's going to be top 15, but it is definitely serviceable, and it's going to be enough, especially with playing from under centre, to give Jaden a bit more time, I'm hopeful.
What about you, Scouts?
I think there's two glaring holes, personally. I think the setup, you mentioned centre, even though people don't tend to rate it a lot, it's very, very important for, calling the plays, calling the protection, stuff like that. And then also, the handoffs. Now, let's face it, Allegretti's never been a centre up until he came to us. So, as in, he played a few snaps here and there. And you can see how bad his snaps were, actually, when he played last season at centre. Some are going over Jaden's head. Some are hitting him at the knee. It's not very good. So, yeah, he might have improved on that. Maybe he probably has. I like to hope that he has. But then when you're looking at the left guard position as well, is a problem. Now, Chris Paul is, I say, he's okay. He's decent in the pass protection. He's awful in the run game. So this is the problem we've got there as well. So, yes, it all depends how our run game's going to be. We'll hopefully paper over the cracks of those two. Hopefully some like outside zone stuff rather than we're trying to run up the middle, because we will get no penetration through the guard and the left guard and the centers kind of guys who are playing there. So we're going to have to do a lot more in the outside zone game.
You see, I'm a believer in Brandon Coleman, and I think he's going to win that left guard job anyway. So I know he's a good left tackle backup, and that's what people want to see him as. And I actually think he played better at left tackle, when you look back at his starting reps that he's had. But I think he beats Chris Paul out and wins that job. So I think that would solidify the left guard side for me.
And let's go right to the running backs, right? Because, Scouts made a great point. Do you all see this as a running back, a RB1 battle? Or do you think it's Bills hands downs? You think it's White's hands downs? How are you all looking at the running back competition?
Scouts, I'll let you take that first, mate.
I mean, I think we've got a lot of decent running backs. I mean, are any of them elite? No. But I think White is. I think he's still our best running back. I think he's better in the pass game, but also he's actually a better runner anyway. Now, the only thing I don't know about, which is the unknown for me, is Katron Allen. I've not seen him play a lot in college. I know his numbers look great and all the rest of it, but I don't know how well he is. I don't know how well he'll suit our system. I don't know much about him, but he's the only question mark I've got in kind of ratings 1, 2, 3. But in general, I do think White is the main guy, and Bill needs to really improve his pass protection, because if he wants to get more reps, as in in-game reps, he's going to need to be able to pass protect, because as soon as he comes onto the field, it's a key for the defense to say it's going to be a run play, boys. And that's what happens. And when we try and be funny and try and change it and become a pass play, he gets blown up every single time. So that's not going to help our quarterback at all. So we're going to need so we need to get rid of that. That's a key. You know what I mean? Like, get rid of that key from the defense. So for me, I'm all about it, man. Is it a committee? Technically, I'd say yes, but I'd say that White at the moment for me should be the RB1.
Yeah, I agree exactly with what Scouse has said there. I think it's going to be a committee, though. I do think it's going to be a committee. I think Katron Allen is we struggled last year to push it in at the end zone, very early on. And I think that looking at that, it's going to be very difficult it's going to be good for him to be that third down guy, or that guy to punch it in from 2-3 yards. But I do think it's by committee. I actually think we keep 5 backs, because I think Jeremy McNichols is too much to do. With what is going on there, but we will see. We will see what happens, mate, with the with technical difficulties, Deuce here, but it's all good. Yeah, we'll keep going. What I was saying there is, I think that overall, I think we keep 5 backs, and I think Ford probably is the guy who lands on the practice squad. We might see him in training camp. He might blow the doors off. We don't know, but. I do think we look at keeping potentially 5 because of Jeremy McNichols' special teams.
Yeah, and I agree. I think that's going to be the way. It's going to be, you're going to have 3 or 4 guys that are purely for special teams, and then helping out as and when required on the offense or the defense. And I think a lot of it, McNichols is going to be one of those guys. Same with Percy Butler, for example. I think he's going to be one of those guys who's going to make the team purely because of his special team skill, more than actually his play at safety. So there's going to be about 3 or 4 guys like that, I think, on this team. So again, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we did keep 5 guys.
All right, here we go, baby. Let's start the show over. We're starting the show over.
Finally,
we back, man. We back. We are starting the show over. Welcome to the Red Zone in the Lab. But no, I think I agree with you all. So let's go right into the wide receiver room, because I've been on this thing with it where it's just Terry in them. And somebody, I think my man Reeves, that be on the timeline, mentioned, hey, People know that we need help in the wide receiver room, but we're getting closer and closer to training camp where it's like, look, this is who we got, and this is where our homerism is going to start taking effect, and everything else is out the door. So we're going to start telling ourselves that we are good, knowing when October, November come here, we're going to be right back where we were a month ago.
I hope not. I really hope not, Deuce. I do not want to see River Craycraft taking passes off Mario or Jaden Daniels, especially when you've paid that much money to go to Madrid. But yeah, it is what it is, man. It's honestly, I'm not a believer in this wide receiver room. I mean, we know what happened with Terry. The holdout helped. The holdout was the problem last year. He looks ready. He's been working with Jaden, which is great to see. De'Ami Brown is De'Ami Brown. I'm not a De'Ami Brown fan, not by any stretch of the imagination. As you know, my wife's a Jags fan, so she saw the $10 million worth of De'Ami Brown last year, which got him nowhere. Playoff De'Ami, yeah, it's different. We got a year of that, but the rest of it, we have 4 years of tape, and he didn't work out. I'm interested to see what Antonio Williams does. I think that's a really good, really good draft pick and a good signing in the wide receiver room. Obviously out of the slot, but I think he almost lines up as our wide receiver 2. Or becomes a wide receiver 2. Luke McCaffrey as well. I mean, they're the 3 I'm going with. Luke McCaffrey, will be probably our wide receiver 2/3. Same with Williams in the slot and Terry on the other side. But obviously, the way that David Blau's going to play things is we're going to see Terry lining up all over the place, which is a good thing. Other than that, it's hard to really judge this wide receiver room because people like Jalen Lane, Chris, as I just said, McCaffrey, they're there for specials as well. They're punt returning, kick returning. So there's a lot of bits that they can do there. We are desperate for a wide receiver 2. You're absolutely right, Deuce. But I think the antics of certain Mr. Ayuk are, just stay off social media, bro. Initially, Scouts, you told me you thought he was just trolling and he was out there just it's all for the clicks. But man, you can't bring people's mums into this and start, there's lines you can't cross. And I think
so Scott, there's no way Scouts was for Ayuk antics. There's no way that he was. There's no way. I do not believe that Scouts was approving of those antics. No, he was not. No way. What has happened to him?
I mean, to be fair, I think it was a little bit of that. I mean, especially at the start of it. I'm all in, man. As you know, we're all desperate for a wide receiver 2, and obviously Ayuk is probably a fit, healthy Ayuk is, might be the Terry success. And let's be honest, he could be the true wide receiver 1 in a couple of years. And so I'm desperate for someone like that to come into our team. So I'm going to, at the start, I was thinking, he's probably just, talking the talk, talking smack, all the rest of it, just to get, eyeballs on him, put the Niners under pressure to try and cut him. And obviously that's not worked yet. So now when the more you listen to it, the more you read about it, you're just thinking, man, it's just way too much now. Every other day he's got a Washington cap on, he's talking all this. It's like, whoa, you're not even part of our team. Stop hashtagging, raise hail and all the rest of it. Stop it. You're just not part of our team.
So I think the best.
There it goes. That's the Scouts.
That's it.
That's the Scouts I'm looking for. There it is. That's the Scouts I'm looking for.
The best thing for me was the tickets when he said, "Oh, go and buy your tickets." I was like, "Where has he come from with that one?" But okay,
I have never seen Ashburn syndrome this bad in anyone I've ever come across, and he's signed to another team. He has serious Ashburn syndrome. So let's go to Senate. Let's talk about Senate, Scouts. Let's talk about Senate. And I understand the passing game. The idea of the passing game and Chig being a big part of it when you look at this wide receiver room, right? I understand that, right? But you can't rob Peter to pay Paul, right? So you still, if Chig is going to be involved as the second option in the passing game, right? You're going to still need someone else to kind of sneak in there every now. Like if Terry and Chig can receive a lot of attention, right? You're going to need someone else to make plays off of that. You got Antonio Williams. All right, we got to see what that looks like. Ben Sinnott, I think, is the key to really unleashing what Chig can be in this offense. if he can just give you 2 first downs a game, just to be just a small threat in this offense, I think that's going to really unleash Chig. Let's start with you, Scott.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he came in and, when Peters drafted him, he talked about that H-back is how he wanted to play. Let's be fair, Cliff Kingsbury's system didn't suit him at all. That was a certainty. I hope that David Blau will employ him slightly differently in Ben Sinnott. And Scouts, you've been saying for years, man, that you just want a wide receiver that is Zach Ertz almost like, but just younger. You don't want to be having them tells, as you said before, on the field where you know it's going to be a running play because look who's coming in. All right, it's we've got Bates there. Okay, who is the one of the best blocking tight ends in the whole league. I think our tight end room's good. Lawrence Cage has been getting a lot of hype, obviously off the training staff, but has been for a while. Colson Yankov, we know, made it last year, but we're struggling for tight ends, apart from obviously Chick, as we just talked about. And it's time that Ben Sinnott showed his worth and stepped up and said, hey, this is me. This is why you drafted me as a second rounder.
What do you think, Scott?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, with Sinnott, yeah, at the moment, he's been, right now, you class him as a bust. You really would. I mean, he's done nothing for us in the couple of years he's been here. I understand it does take 2-3 years, normally as a tight end to try and get really nail down the position properly, all the little nuances, because you are technically part of the O-line as well. You're not just a receiving guy. He's going to be able to block. He's going to be able to read all the rest of it. So I understand, sometimes it can take some guys a bit longer than others. But the thing is, yeah, and I agree with Scott, there's no Kingsbury's system just did not suit him. Now, the thing is, we don't know what Blau's system really is.
Right.
So this is the problem again. So it's kind of like, well, what is he? Is he going to be the H-back? Is he going to be a Kyle Juszczyk that he could, as you say, get you 1 or 2 first downs a game, like you're mentioning, but playing from the H-back position or F-back or full-back position, whatever you want to call it? Is it going to be more like that, more than, say, him as a true tight end? Because let's face it, you're going to have Chig's going to be on there for like 90% of the snaps. And then you're going to have Bates as well, like you mentioned. So, and he's going to be on there probably 90% of the snaps because, again, he's good in pass protection, like you mentioned. He's one of the best blockers. So that's going to be the main 2 guys. And then where's Sinnott going to fit in? So either it's going to be, the last 10% of Chig not being on there, or is it going to be potentially find an actual specific spot for him, which would be the potential fullback or H-back or whatever you want to call it, and then let him come out into the pass game and then get those short yardage passes, those for the first downs, exactly what Niners do with Juszczyk. So that's where I see Sinnott, more of that than, say, a true tight end who could take the pressure off Chig in that respect as such.
Let's flip to the other side of the ball, and let's talk about the defense. Let's talk about the emergence, the breakout player Percy. I was about to say Percy Butler, trying to be funny. Jeremy Reeves last year. For you, Scouts, Jeremy Reeves last year played more as a defensive safety last year, more than his career. He got opportunities to make opportunities of it. What do you think? But just joking around. How do you all feel about this safety room? Because when I look at the safety room, I think we have a bunch of guys that when they're at their best is when they're around the line of scrimmage, regardless of who you talk about. Will Harris, Cross, you want to put Quan there. Revo, we want to put him in. The only actual true safety on this team is Percy Butler, right? And we don't think he's going to see any snaps in that sense. So let's start with you, Scott. How are you feeling about these safeties?
Yeah, it's you're right. It's a bunch of guys, but what is interesting is players who we've had before, who we've relied on as starters, probably won't even be on this team anymore. So it shows you that the depth that they've gone to try and get this right. Nick Cross was probably my favourite signing of the offseason. I love that signing. I was talking about him before, saying this is the guy we need to get to. He can blitz as well. You know what I mean? He's nice in the box. But you're right in what you're saying. We just have to rely on Harris to play that role and play it well, where at times he got caught out last year. So that could be a problem. But what you've got to hope here, Deuce, is that the DBs get enough time and the safety room get enough time because of the pass rush. I know, I saw that. That was quite cool. That they get enough time because of the pass rush. If you can get the quarterback running, or you can get even one more second, do you want me to hold that ball a little bit longer? That gives you DBs and your corners and your safeties more time at the back end to hold the play up.
Rasul Douglas. So this is the thing where I think it's very interesting, right? Like you all know it, the phrase "fandom has no intelligence," right? A lot of times we look at these rooms and we'll say, well, if they don't do anything, that means they might be higher on this room than we are, right? You can obviously say that's how they felt for the cornerback room until 3 days ago, right? When they actually signed somebody, right? So you could kind of look at that in the way, because they're not going to come out and say, hey, we need help here and here. When it comes to the cornerback scouts, how important are the pass rushers to our cornerbacks?
Oh, it's massive. It really is. It's so important, and I really applaud what Peters has done this offseason to try and rectify the pass rush. We've got 3 or 4 serious guys there now who can actually do some damage. Before it was just Armstrong, let's face it, and Armstrong went out with hamstring after about 5 weeks, so he was out for the whole season virtually. So we didn't really get a lot of pass rush, and as we saw last season, our corners got burned quite a lot. Now, most corners get burnt if you give the quarterback time, and you've got even a half decent receiver out against you. You're always going to get burnt. So how important is it for a good pass rush? I think it's everything for our defense. It really is. Our guys, I wouldn't say are elite level press man corners. Like Amos, you could potentially say, oh yeah, he's pretty good. Maybe he could be the elite guy in time, but Douglas, again, yeah, he's good, but he's not great, and then you've got the other guys as well. I love Sam Mistril, but again, the thing is, Sam Mistril's more, I think he should be in the slot more. So again, yeah, you're playing him outside, all the rest of it, I get it. He's not really tall enough. He's not very sticky on a lot of receivers at times. But again, is that down to the pass rush and the QB having the time to dice them up? So for me, it's so important to get to get some serious pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah, I agree with you, Scouse. I think though signing Rasul Douglas is a good thing. It depends what Rasul Douglas we get. If we get the Miami Rasul Douglas, I'll be quite pleased with that. I know he has an on year and off year. It's kind of like Daron Payne in a contract year, but we need it. We needed a new corner. I mean, Akella with a spoon.
We had no depth.
He's getting older. We don't know what Amik Robertson's going to bring, whether he's going to play the slot, whether he's going to play outside. But the good thing with Rasul Douglas is he's a different type of corner than what we already have. 6'2", 205, that sort of level, which means, hey, what's Mikey, 5'10", and I don't know what Amik Robertson is, 5'9", something like that. And then we've got a cheers, man. I appreciate you. But at the same time,
what about Ayuk, is he? Yeah.
So look, ever since, y'all know I can get sometimes like on the timeline, right? So I just had a ball trolling the 49ers fans over the last 3-4 weeks about Brandon Ayuk, and that ended up being like gaining more subscribers on the channel. So I have about 3 or 4 49er fans that's been in here like every day for the most of the show. Like I've been like 2, 3, 4 hour shows, and they've been here. So I absolutely appreciate the support. They've been very respectful, taking shots, but it's been a ball have on, man. It's been a ball have on.
Nice.
All right. So the defensive line. I think that Tim Settle is. I think Tim Settle, the addition of Tim Settle is going to mean more to Daron Payne than it will to Tim Settle. And on the flip side, Chason is going to mean more to Dorrance Armstrong, because Dorrance Armstrong, I mean, he was having a good year last year, but he is so much better at that 3-tech, the 5-tech edge when he got someone on the outside of him from his Dallas days. And we know Deron Payne does not want to play the 0-tech. He does not. He didn't want to do it at Alabama. He ain't want to do it when Allen Boyd would say he just don't. Having those two guys on this team, I think, is going to pay dividends for Armstrong and Payne. What do you guys think?
Go on, Scott.
Yeah, I mean, playing the nose is exactly what we need. We need a guy who's just going to beat up people, which is what Tim Settle's going to do.
Yeah,
he's going to be there like, hey, man, you know what? I'll take on this. I'll take on both the left guard and the center. I'm good with that. And he's just going to wreck things up, which is great. I mean, Johnny Newton, he played a lot as well at nose, so it's interchangeable. But I do think that this defensive line got extremely better by signing Tim Settle. You look back at his tape from Houston last year, he had a really good season, man. He had a really, really good season. Yeah. And I'm encouraged that he's come back home again. You know, he knows the organization, he knows the area. He should be able to just hit the ground running and just go for it. Coaching as well is a big thing. You know, new coaching in there as well, which is great to see. Deron Payne in a contract year. We know what happens with Deron Payne in a contract year. You know, he might ball out, which is what you want to see as well. But you're right in what you're saying when you're probably playing outside linebackers with a couple of them on the outside. You need that pressure up the middle as well, which is what Tim Settle, I think, will absolutely bring. Because Payne don't want to be picking on 3 players; he just wants to pick on 1, and that's fine.
Right. And Settle is like, look, give me these 3 dudes right here, and I'm working all day. I don't care about the numbers. I don't care about the stats. Give me these 3 dudes, and I'm going to work with them. Y'all go work. Y'all go get the numbers. What about you, Scouts?
Yeah, 100%. That's what I'm going to say about Settle. Is that he's a space eater. He wants to take on double teams, and that'll help us in defending the run as well. So it's going to be really, really useful. I say you're going to be seeing a lot of disguise from Devontae Jones. No, not just normally we see him as the kind of DBs and the linebackers doing all that kind of thing. But I think you're going to see this quite a lot from the actual D line as well. Especially you got Charlton Menny here, who we've not talked about yet either. And that guy is versatile all over the place. This guy can play a high level across the board. We've not even mentioned. And so again, we've got a lot more depth there now. You know, we lost Wise last season. That's it. We didn't have anybody else. You know, it was kind of like, but we got Wise and we've got these other dudes, and we've got that guys now who can actually do it. I think, as in more than just the starters. And you know, I think we're going to be good, man. I think we're going to be a lot better than what people think. And I'm not just hoping. I'm not just coping. I'm hoping not. But you know, at the moment, yeah.
This is Scouts too, man. I don't know. I don't know what's happening to Scouts. Scouts is a different man. I don't know what's happened to him. I don't know what's happening to him.
Preseason, man. Preseason Scouts is always good.
All right, let's get ready to get you guys out of here. I do want to ask y'all one last question. 5 of each. Give me 5 players that we need for them to play to their highest ceiling in order for us to win a division. 3 players across the entire team. Special teams, offense, and defense.
Okay, I'll go with my 5 then. So Jaden Daniels straight away, Terry McLaurin immediately, Laramie Tunsil, that's my 3rd. Nick Algretti would be my 4th, and defensively, I'm going to say Adafe Owe.
Algretti is a good one.
Can Algretti actually get to even a B-level standard? I don't even know he can.
Yes.
So I don't know. If he plays at his best, is it good enough? I don't know. You know.
Come on. Who's your 5, Scouts?
So my 5, yeah, of course. I think we're going to need Trey Amos to step up this year as well. I think he's really going to need to be important for us. I think Leo Chenal is going to be an absolute beast. My favorite off-season signing. Love the guy. Wish we signed him when he came out of college. I think our first-round pick this year as well, even though he's a rookie, there's going to be a lot of expectation on him at linebacker there. And as I say, obviously, JD and Terry, like you've mentioned before, they're always going to be the main boys. If they're producing, we're going to be onto a chance of winning. If they're not producing, we're going to probably end up losing. Simple as really.
Yeah,
that's it.
Appreciate y'all for coming through, man. I know this was short. We definitely gonna catch back up before the season starts. I know you guys are gonna be prepping for us to come over there to London. I know you guys are excited for finally being a host. and you guys gonna try to get over here later in the year. I guess you got your tickets yet? Because I don't know. Is it going to matter what the win-loss numbers is? Are you coming in?
No, we're always gonna come over. But the problem we have got this year is it's too close.
For
home
sure.
Opener. We always do home opener. That's the normal thing, but it's too close. They decided to put London in week 4, so not ideal.
For sure. What about the Rigo? What's that? Week 9? Is that?
Yeah,
might be doable. That.
Yeah, maybe
we'll look at that.
All right, 1 Point Safety Show, Bleeding Burgundy, all that other good stuff. Let everyone know how they can follow you all over the pond, because it's what, 9:30 right now for you guys?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's 9:30 now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 5 hour time delay. We go every Thursday at 4 p.m. Me and Scouse will be on there. You can find us on Twitter at 1 Point Safety 4.
All right, that's a wrap. All right, appreciate y'all for coming through, man. Until next time. Scouse, you be nice over there, Scouse.
I'll try, man. I'll try. No promises, though. No promises.
All right, man. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
All right, man. Peace. What we got? All right, in the building. Big Herb is in the building. What's good, man?
What's good? What's going on? What's going on? How's your weekend? How's the beginning of your weekend doing, man?
It's good. It's good so far, right? Like the show itself. Here we go. All right. I think we're good, right? Like, and this is the crazy thing. Like, you know how you prep your lap, your surface, whatever it is you got, your camera, your light, all that. You prep it. Turn it. All right. Let's get ready to rock and roll. You leave. Do whatever. You come back, you sit down, you ready to rock and roll, and then just stay black. Like it was black for like 10 minutes. I'm like, bro, this is not happening right now.
Look here. If you guys haven't been looking, I have a Commanders. It's called the Commanders Clash Classic. It's basically a tournament style thing for content creators. And one of them, I think, was arguably one of the best duels that we had. My screen completely just blacked out to the point to where I couldn't hear them. So I had to put the YouTube on my phone to go ahead and just hear the response. And I'm just like, and I can't hear a word they're saying, but they can hear every single thing that I'm doing this from a tablet. Okay, so I don't have the bread enough to get an actual laptop right this second, but I'm doing all of this from my tablet. So shout out to Apple for going ahead and making this possible, because you guys know how to put a great iPad together. Hopefully I could be your spokesman at one time, so we can go ahead and work something out. So
there it is. Shout out Big Earth. I met, outside of the timeline, but we met. I don't know what I'm about to say.
It's the what's the name of the thing? The draft party.
Yeah. So I think when it comes to the Commanders community, there are so many of us, right?
Yeah,
there are so many of us, and I'm learning that there's so many on different platforms like X. I mean, not X. I know about X, but like Instagram and TikTok, there's so many more, and I'm just adapt. Like, man, we are all over the place. I don't know about other fan bases, but I can pretty much be like, man, we have to have more content creators than any other. I know the 49ers have a lot too, but we have to have a lot, man.
And I know that over the last the last month, we have been battling, duking it out with the 49er fan base. Look, they ain't not. One of my closest friends is a 49ers fan, and we've been going back and forth through this IU thing. But to say, as far as just to piggyback on what you were saying, dude, I'm still figuring out, this is such and such podcast from all. I was like, where the hell y'all been? I've been looking for y'all. And the one thing that I would say about the community, and I love so much, because this isn't the first podcast I've ever done. I've been in different podcast ventures as far as with other people, and the community isn't as tight knit as this one. Like, nobody is out here trying to diminish anybody else. We all want everybody to win. Yeah. Shout out to the Command Hers for putting their show together, and I can't wait for that on Tuesday. So, but yeah, I always look at it as there's enough for everybody to eat. And I mean, and if one person isn't your cup of tea, there may be somebody else if you don't really rock with me, I know that there's somebody else that's actually great at their talent, and I want them to flourish, because if they flourish, then we all flourish. Because at some point, if they it's like, oh man, this person is dope over here. Well, I want to know what the other like-minded individuals are. They may be different from what we are. So I mean, and I always want all of us to win at some point. It's not just about just one person in particular that you need to listen to. Everybody have different views. Shout out to K-State. She was totally against the Brandon Ayuk thing. Me in the beginning, I was like, hey, look, sign him up. Excuse me. I'm all for it. So, I mean, obviously now we looking at this thing completely different. But yeah. So yeah, that's my take on it. I mean, it's enough for everybody to eat, so why not? I mean, shoot. Like, for sure. We all in this together.
For sure. And that's why I always like most of the community, the riddle, they know like it's all about do it because you love it, not because it loves me, right? So like as long as I keep that focus, as long as that's my target. And I mean one time I was saying don't let subscribers become your content, right? Because once subscribers become your content, your love starts to diminish for it, and you're always chasing something that you're probably never going to get. So that's why I just do it because I love it, regardless of the outcome. You want to put good product out there. You want the support. You want all those things. But when it comes down to it, if everybody leaves, right? If the subscribers go from whatever it is now to 0, like I will still be here that next live.
Because I have a damn sure ain't getting paid for this. So I mean, I'm doing it for the love of the game. So I mean, because I could ramble and rant and yell and scream about this team for hours. And I mean, and here's the thing, I eventually would love to get paid doing this, but it's not the end all be all. Like I'm not gonna say exactly where I work at, but I got 7 more years until I'm eligible for retirement. Understand, if I get paid doing this, this is just fun for me. Like I actually enjoy this, and to find like-minded individuals. And I mean, like, dude, let me just say this. I found you in 2024 throughout the whole entire playoff race, and seeing you go over to the Pepsi play. What you mean? I'm telling you, I got stitches laughing at that joint. It was hilarious. Like, and then just walking through the middle of the store, like, Pepsi, what you mean? You ain't got J no. So, no, keep it up, dude. I love the content. It's hilarious. It was a pleasure meeting you at the draft party and everything. And yeah, it's a lot of love in this community, and I love it. Like it brings me happiness and it brings me joy to see other people win. Like genuinely. Like I'll just do it for me. I want everybody to win.
Right. And that's why I'm glad like I got the idea because a lot out of all of these, it's like 30 plus, right? Most of you all I've never talked to on the podcast. Like we've never collabed before. So like this was a perfect opportunity to kind of to do that. And I was like, man, yeah, let's just do that. So I watch on and off in the timeline, but let's actually do something. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm glad about that. And I'm glad about our community, man. Like I love our community, man. You might get a little spat here and there, but it's all love. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So ultimately, when one thing I do know, if it's anything outside trying to come in, then we be absolutely bond together and we going right.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So like we don't do that. Oh yeah, we gonna if you come in our house. Like whatever we got going on in here is what we got going on in here. Yeah, right. But you ain't gonna come in here. You know what I'm saying?
Just make sure you take your shoes off before you walk in this door, and don't leave no tracks from outside. But we got you, baby. I mean, you're hungry. We got something in the kitchen. You go ahead and cook it and do your thing. Like no, this is a loving community, and that's the one thing that I love. And shout out to the Commander Kings because they were one of the guys that got me. Like Louis T was the one who said it. He was basically coming out there saying it's enough for everybody to eat.
Yep.
And when I saw that, I was like, man, let me stop playing with this because I was off and on in the beginning, and I was like, man, I love doing this. Like even if they bad, and I want to rant, I want to just go off and everything. Everybody gonna be like, hey, yo, spit that shit, Herb. Yeah, you right. And I'm like, I may be wrong on some of this stuff, but I mean, yeah, we
man, we ain't getting paid. We are not getting no performance review. Like we are not getting no performance review. You know what I'm saying? Like if we wrong, hey, I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? So like
But you know what? And if I'm wrong, what you mean I was wrong?
Right. I can just switch it up. Well, you know, I can like, you know what I'm saying? Like this is what the content is. And so far, I have not come across anyone that does this like how I do it. I have not, like, over these last 3 days, and this is going into the third day, everyone that I've had a style that I don't have. Right. And I haven't met anyone that had the same style as somebody else's. It's like everyone has a different style, different opinions, the way they, so like that's the beauty of it. This is not a think tank type thing, right? You know what I'm saying? So like that's the, like this is why I enjoy doing this so much, right? And I enjoy being in this in this community with all of you, is because, like, man, we got different opinions, we got different ways to put it out. We all feel whatever it is, but it's all content, it's all good content, and it's all making us happy. So kudos to us, man. Kudos. To us,
I mean,
man.
for real.
Sure.
I'm gonna give myself a pat on the back.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
But not like one thing I did want to bring up to you. One thing I did want to bring up to you that I was laughing about it, and I mean, first things first. You ever watch Drink Champs? With Noriega. So I mean, when you was talking about the whole thing with Brandon Ayuk being, that's my man's man. And the first thing I thought of, I was like, Noriega was doing something with Jadakiss, and he was like, man, look here. Like he came up in there. Jada was like, he came in because everybody was family. We dapping him up, dapping every single person. And they were like, that's your boy over there, right? He's like, nah, that ain't my boy. He's like, and then so right now, this is Ayuk, if you listening, I know you probably not, but
keep telling the story. He's like, nah,
that's such a man.
He said he went back, he looked at it, like, he took his dap.
He's like, I'm taking my dad. Look here, if you're watching, I'm taking my dad back. Nah, you tripping, bro. Like for real, like nah. Yeah, I'm taking all that joint back. Like, I'm not. Nah, get out of here, man. Like, are you tripping? Like,
and that's what I was like when I gave that analogy. I was like, and the thing is that look. Because you're like the 49ers, oh, now y'all ain't about play. I'm still pro player. Like, even though the dude who's my man, that's not my man's man no more. I don't want nothing to happen to him.
No,
right? If he's getting whooped, and I'm like, man, that's messed up. I'm not gonna do nothing, but I'm still like, man, I ain't have to do him like that. You know
I'm looking at it like,
I still want Ayuk to get paid. I still want him to be able to play. Like, I still want that for him. But
because I'm looking at it like damn, he getting his ass whipped. Fight back, bro! Fight back! Like, I mean, because at the end of the day, I mean, we may not want him, but I am pro player. I mean, don't get it twisted.
For sure.
Because his thing, I see what the owners at times can do. Not every single owner, but I mean, I know what owners out there could be a-holes. I mean, just look at and I mean, and this ain't no shot at them, but I mean, it technically is. Look at what the Bengals, how cheap they are. Right. I remember when because I watch Hard Knocks all the time. I remember when they did Hard Knocks, you had to pay to get Wi-Fi, and you're a player on the team. Roy Williams is sitting there like, dog, we gotta pay to get Wi-Fi. No. And you already know the 30-year torment that we've been going through as fans.
Yeah, for sure.
Watching that. I know this is a family show, so I'm not gonna completely go off the rails, but that dude is in his yacht over on the other side of the world, man. Stay over there. You're not welcome over here. For sure. I'm not condoning violence, but if it happens, I'm be like, fight back.
Right. Oh my goodness. All right, man. We just spent like 20 minutes not talking about football, which I love, right? It's all good. It's a good release. But like when it comes to this team overall, right? Because my man Merle, he put something in here, right? And I'm gonna go ahead and do it because I haven't thought about this, right? But I'm trying to look at different angles. And I know, the people, like a lot of the listeners have been here like every day, right? And they've been hearing the same. They've heard my take 1,000 times because I've been talking with different people, different stuff. So I try to switch it up a little bit, right? But he put a point out here, like, who would you trade for, right? Now, in the wide receiver room, right? First, I need to know, how do you feel about the wide receiver room, right? And he says DK Metcalf. Absolutely not, Merle. Absolutely not. I do not want DK Metcalf.
Are we talking about like third year in the league, DK Metcalf? Because I'll take him in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Steeler one is just like, I don't know. Maybe you need to stop worrying about the people in the stands and hitting them and hit these DBs.
He lost a lot of money. He lost a lot of money.
But as far as like my state on the wide receiver room right now, I'm not gonna say that they're world beaters because they're not. I as much as I love what's the name, Terry, he's not a world beater. Right. I mean, in fact, I think that he needs to be getting the ball more so we can see if he's a world beater or not. Mm-hmm. The kid Williams that we just picked up in the draft. Here's the thing. At first, I thought he was just a slot demon. I was sadly mistaken. Looking at that game against Georgia and looking at the fact that the team just pretty much went in the gutter because the QB was ass. Yeah, I mean, I think that we stole Williams, and I think that he could really be. I'm not going to say he's going to be Terry rookie year, but he might. And I mean, I'm looking at it from all these receivers. Like, I'm not saying that he's going to be the next Jettas, but what if he gives like half of what Jettas had his rookie years? So, I mean, I think he's a talented individual. Mm-hmm. My thoughts on I'm really high on McCaffrey because he showed me something last year. I mean, he didn't get really a lot of passes thrown his way, but when thrown to him, he actually showed, okay, he was consistent up until the injury. I mean, even with the whole entire going up to the injury, you had him as a kickoff returner. He was killing it. The fact that we're starting off at the 40-yard line every single time, he's very talented. I mean, he may not be as good as his daddy and his brother, but I mean, if he could go ahead and be sufficient enough,
he's Jimmy Uso.
And look here, he's Jimmy. Jimmy got bars. His mic game is spectacular, and occasionally he'll go ahead and go up the top rope and go ahead and he'll give his little yeet every once in a while. But I mean, no, it's just like I think that they can honestly be the wide receiver room. I don't think it's world beaten, but I don't think that they need to go ahead and be world beaters on this with this offense. We finally got an adult offense going on because I'm looking at it as far as like what went down with Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff Kingsbury's offense was sufficient if you're a beginner, if you're a couple that just wanted to starting off a new family. You got engaged, you need a house. You got the house, now you're pregnant, you need more room. You get yourself another house. Cliff Kingsbury is that starter home. Now we got an adult offense coming in, and I honestly believe you don't have to have 3 receivers getting 50 catches a year. And no, you don't need that because we have a tight end who's going to be good. We have a potential, hopefully, with Senate being a fullback / tight end hybrid or whatever they want to call it, H-back. Okay, cool. He could go ahead and do that. He could go and get flare routes. He can hopefully you get like 35 to 40 catches. And then that takes the burden off the other receivers. I mean, Diami is going to take the top off. We got him with that. Van Jefferson, if he does make the team, okay, you could do another fly route on the other side. So I mean, hey, it's the reason why I'm looking at this offense. You look at Laporta with the Detroit. You got Laporta, you got Brown, you got Williamson, you got what's the name, and you got Gibbs. All 4 of those are top tier at their position on that offense. And I mean, and we have the 4. We got Terry, we got Williams, we got Shiggy, we got hopefully Senate, we got what's the name, the kid that just came from Tampa. We got the pieces. Now, are they on the same caliber? Maybe not, but I mean, we should be sufficient enough to move the ball around. And I mean, if knock on wood, there ain't no injuries, we should be fine. Now, to answer Homeboy's question,
hey, listen. I ain't knocking on wood. Last year, I stayed away from the I word. Even doing games like what we want to come out of this game, I would not say everybody stay healthy. I stayed away from it as much as possible. It absolutely did nothing. So injury. I am like, because like what happened last year. If something happens like that again, or even worse, like I'm just gonna lose my mind. But
but to piggyback on Homeboy's question as far as who would I trade for, If I had to trade for somebody, and it doesn't have to be the receiving room.
Nah, not really.
Okay. Shit. If we really gonna say if this is just like you can trade for whoever it is you want.
No,
Give me Miles.
Rumors.
Okay. Oh, rumors. Okay.
There's some rumors over the last 3 months. Like,
okay, because I was about to say, if we really want to get there, let me get Myles Garrett. That's what I want. But if I have to say, I'm going with the kid in Jacksonville. What's his name? JD5's boy. BT. Brandon Thomas.
Yeah.
Bring him in. I mean, we could always use an extra piece on in the wide receiver room. And Jaden's boys with him too, so we ain't got to worry about that crazy mess that's going on with Ayuk. Yeah. I mean, hey, because I'm looking at it right now with the whole entire Ayuk situation. He's living in the SpongeBob meme. Right. Us and the 49ers gonna be playing outside. Yeah, he's gonna be looking at like Squidward, just like
man.
Hey, but no, like that's my thing. I mean, I'll take BT all day.
When it comes to the defensive side of the ball, right? Mm-hmm. What are you most intrigued about this defense?
Okay, I want to say the defensive line, but I'm intrigued over the last 48 hours, 72 hours with the cornerback room. Okay. So contrary to what everybody feels about Mikey, I'm a full-blown Maryland fan, because if it wasn't for the University of Maryland where my parents met, I wouldn't even be here. But my team is the Wolverines. So I mean, go blue. So I want to see my boy Mikey come out there and pull the same game that he was pulling in Michigan. And I think as far as the whole entire deal with this whole entire DB room, they don't have to be perfect. Right. And I mean, my thing is this: if you can go ahead, and I mean, we both play ball at some point. Yeah. I'm an offensive lineman, but I do know as far as like prime example, when the Giants won the Super Bowls, can you honestly tell me any one of those cornerbacks that was on that team?
Who?
No. Can you tell me any of the corners on that team that won the Super Bowl for them?
The Giants?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And I mean, unless you're a real football fan.
Yeah, because they're that rivalry. So,
I mean,
I get what you're saying, though.
Nobody knows who they were because that pass rush was killing them. Yeah. But the one thing about it with this defense that DJ has, you don't have to be like stars in order to go ahead and flourish in this one.
Right.
But I'm looking at Mikey like, hey, he can go ahead because he led the team in interceptions, I believe, the last 2 years. So I mean, why not? If this is supposed to be like, hey, we're gonna blitz and we're gonna shit, like it does not matter where you start, it's how you finish, how DJ said. Well, if we got a blitzer coming through and Mikey's sitting there watching the quarterback and jumps off and kicks it, or what's his name? Trey can get one. What's his name? What's the kid that we just picked up from the Lions? Amik could get one. I could get one. You could get one. And we could just sit back in coverage. And I mean, you get a pick. I mean, and I mean, seriously, that's just how I feel. Like, I mean, I already know that we're gonna get some pressure at some point, but I feel because Deronte Jones is a corner. I don't think this is going to be a situation like the Jets where you have an actual defensive back who is your head coach and you can't catch an interception. I refuse to believe that. I refuse to believe that this team cannot go ahead and force turnovers with the way that he's putting an emphasis on everybody gets paid because they get interceptions. And if you have this pass rush that we don't know about yet, but we know they apply pressure. If you can apply pressure and these DBs could just feast on this, I'm not saying that we're going to get like 20 interceptions this year, but if we could get like middle of the pack 15 or so like that, that'd be great with this team. And I mean, and Amik can catch the ball. Mikey can catch the ball. We'll find out as far as Trey, but we already know as far as what's the kid's name he ain't no kid, he's a grown ass man. What's the name? Rasul Douglas. He got like 3 or 4 interceptions last year. He was not even slated to start, and he started the whole year on a trash Miami team. and actually flourished. One of the bright spots. The only reason why he gone is because he's 30. And they want to start off brand new. They want to get younger in Miami. So, I mean, I think we picked up something that was actually prevalent to what we can do as far as just being able to be productive on the side of the field. So, I mean, I think we're going to be just fine. But it's to answer your question, I'm like, I want to see how this DB room is. And even as far as the safety room as well. So, I mean, I'm intrigued. It's like, I know that we're going to get some pressure. I feel like we're going to get some stops in the run. I want to see how this DB room is going to do.
Because I think a lot is going to hinder on the pass rush and Daronte Jones, right? So last question. When you think about David Blau and you think about Daronte Jones, right? Daronte Jones, I think, is almost 50, right? It's
like 47
crazy.
or something.
Yeah, it's like crazy how he's just getting this opportunity. But, you know, it is what it is. We can talk about it.
Yeah.
Right. So, like, when it comes to Daronte Jones and it comes to David Blau, I think both of these guys are smart. I do, right? I think these guys are smart. We hear a lot about how David Blau was involved in different schemes, different setups over the last couple of years. But the fact of the matter is, this time last year, he was the assistant quarterbacks coach. He's never led a position group ever, right? He's only been coaching for 2 years. Of course, he was the clipboard quarterback. Take that for whatever you want. My biggest concern with them is 24-second clock, right? What are you able to do within a 24-second clock? And we're not going to be able to really see that maybe until the preseason. The 24-second clock, the adjustments from 24-second clock to the next 24-second clock. Those things usually take time for coordinators to kind of really get into. I mean, like a year or 2 years. It just kind of depends. They don't have that time.
They don't.
Right? You got the Eagles, the Cowboys coming out the gate. You got a head coach on his third year, had a great first year, a horrible second year. Look, I know about the injuries. I know about the injuries, all that other stuff, right? But I don't care about your daddy issues, right? If they come out and they get punched in the face week 1 and week 2, that Monday morning after the Dallas game could get pretty ugly. Like, how confident are you in those coordinators? Not them as coordinators, but in game 24-second clock to 24 seconds.
So I feel like, as far as DJ is concerned, he's had that guy in his corner who's going to be on his ass. And I mean, because damn, his name is eluding me right now. The defense coordinator, Brian Flores. Yeah, he's a no nonsense, be on your stuff type guy. He is one of those guys that, like, I mean, he made people uncomfortable because he don't want you to be comfortable in situations like that. I want you to know exactly. I need a backup plan for Big Boy said it blessed. I need a backup plan for my backup plan to back up my backup plan. So he's that type of coach to go ahead and put that on to hit, because he wants everybody. If you're gonna be under me, you're gonna be represented right. It's like that situation where when your mom said, you ain't going outside wearing that. Because when you go outside, you're a representation of me. So no, he's that Daronte Jones is one of those that's dealing with Flores, to where he's not. He knows, he's been trained. He's been doing it. I mean, hell, he's been doing this since Bowie. What's the name? University of Bowie. So, Bowie State. State.
LSU too. Can't forget about
LSU. He's been doing it. He went to CFL and everything. I have no doubts as far, because he's done this before. Yeah. Now, as far as like what's the name? As far as Blau, yeah, he's new. But I'm also looking at it like this: if he was so new and blue to this, why was the Detroit Lions so heavy on trying to get him? Why did their coach at the what's the name, at the draft thing, the underwear Olympics, what's the name of that thing called? Damn it.
He's on the
combine. The NFL. So why was Dan sitting there for like 20 minutes talking about how great Blau is? Yeah. Why was he sitting there like he was like, man, all right, so hold on a second, y'all. Like, this dude right here, man, the commander stole one from us, man. He was just that nice, man. I wanted him. I wanted him bad. And then you have the Bears who were saying the same exact thing, saying, I wanted him. I wanted him. I wanted him. I wanted him. Yeah, he's shown me just so off of what I've seen so far, he was never going to be that quarterback that's just going to be like, hey, give me the ball, coach. I got this and everything. No. You're not. You're not.
Right.
You are the brains, though. So I mean, you're good. You know how to set things up. As a matter of fact, this right here should be the answer to it. When we went up against Philly in 2024 in the second game, do you know who set up that game-winning touchdown pass?
Yeah,
David Blau.
Wow. Yeah.
David, that was David Blau's play, not Cliff Kingsbury. David Blau said, "Hey, look, we're gonna play this one right here." So if he knows what to do, 24 seconds. Look, I'm not gonna say it's a cinch, but I'm saying, like, dude, you know what you're doing. Right. So at this point, like, come on, man, you know what you're doing. Come on in here, stop playing around. And the one thing that I will say that I give credit to Dan Quinn is that he wants people to win so bad that he wants you to go ahead and get another job, so I can get another person. He's us. He's trying to get get everybody to eat. Like, and that's the one thing that I will say. He's not going to just put any old person in there. Now the defensive coordinator before him, I mean, hey, shit happens. But I mean, it's just like, no, he knows how to set things up for this. So he sees the horn side, because nobody was looking for Deronte Jones. Everybody was sitting there like, who's Deronte Jones? And he's been sitting there, and when Brian Flores came in here, he's like, look here, I'm not going to be nobody's defensive coordinator no more. I'm already getting the highest paid one. I want a head coach job. But I'm going to tell you who you need to look at, Deronte Jones. He wouldn't just give away his right-hand man to not eat if he knows that he could use him anymore. And what's the name? Flores is that type of guy to where he's not going to just put his name out there for nothing. Right. He's gonna be Deronte Jones is gonna be under his coaching tree. Now, granted, for whatever reason, he might not get a head coaching job. That's a whole different story. But you're gonna see Deronte Jones actually be nice with this. And the fact that we don't know who's gonna be placed where and who's gonna make the play, that just makes it even wilder. So I honestly think that we're gonna start off getting a dub against the Eagles. Call me crazy. Call me crazy, but I'm calling it. I'm like, hey, look, I'm ready to see what this defense. Now, I know what Jaden can bring to the table. I want to see what this defense is.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Big Herb, man, it's been a pleasure for sure. We got to kick this back up. I know you're going to be at training camp at some point. We
the first one.
Gonna hook up. Yep. Yeah. So I'll be there. So we definitely gonna link up, man. But let everybody know where they can follow you, Instagram, X, wherever you are.
So I'm on Instagram. You can find me under Off the Bench Podcast, all one word together, mashed up on IG, Twitter as well. Currently I'm doing right the second a jersey giveaway. So if you go ahead and if you follow me on IG, X, or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, and subscribe to my channel, once we get to 1,000 subscribers, I will go ahead I will be giving out a free jersey. Commanders only. I'm not giving out any of her. It's a 49er gang that y'all get here. Why can't we give? No. It's a commander-based podcast. That's the reason why. You want it? What's the name? A player. You want your personalized? It don't matter. I got you. So you go ahead and follow me on IG. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on subscribe to the channel. Randomize. You get a free jersey on me. So. But Deuce, I absolutely thank you for the opportunity, man.
Yeah, sure. I'll get up with you, man.
All right, likewise.
All right, man. Peace.
Right. Peace.
Let me switch my Wi-Fi real quick. Hold up. Make sure nothing mess up. Let's see. I think we're connected. Jesse, what's good? Bleeding Burgundy.
Good.
How you feeling, man?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Good, man. Hanging in there, man. You can hear me all right?
I'm good.
You was on here earlier, man. Like I had tried to go on my phone. It was crazy when we first started, but we good, man. How you been? Been good? Hanging in there?
Yeah, man. I've been just trying to enjoy the summer, although it's getting hot. And
it's getting hot. It's been hot. Like, we had some days. How do you feel about our wide receiver room leading our wide receiver with all pro $40 million wide receiver Terry McLaurin?
All right, calm down on that. Calm down on that, everybody. Look, I'm not as down on the wide receiver room as many of our fans are. I
Yeah.
think, you go back to 2024 and you look at that wide receiver room, I think it's better. And if we can get anything out of Treylon Burks, which I think this team really believes in, uh, I think it's going to be Jaden and the offense as a whole, rather than relying just on the wide receivers. I think we're in a better position than we were in 2024. If Terry can stay healthy, all the better. Let's get his 4 catches for 50 yards and his 1,100, his 1,100 starts for the season. That's going to be fine. You get somebody like a Treylon Burks and Luke McCaffrey, which I'm a lot higher on than most of this fan base as well. And listen, I even like the Van Jefferson signing for depth. It's a heck of a lot better than your Robbie Chosens and
sure.
stuff like that. And I am in love with our new wide receiver. We on our show we had wish lists for wide receivers, and I didn't even put Williams on my wish list because I thought he was going to be long gone by the time we were picking third round. So I didn't even kind of put them in that level. So for him to fall to us, and I think we got, knock on wood a little bit, Amon-Ra St. Brown Jr. in the making with that pick.
Yeah, gotcha. And I think and when we think about Antonio Williams and what we believe in he's able to project to do, I think he's going to have a big year. Like I really do. Yeah. I think Young is going to be poised to have a big year. But on the flip side of it, right? It's like there were tons of guys that was drafted day 1 or day 2 this past January in Orlando that was at the flag football tournament championship, right? That's just the facts of the NFL. So we're hoping that he's able to do that. It's just that behind Terry, you really have no recent production that you can go to to say, hey, look, if Terry go down a couple games, whatever the case may be, at least I can have someone. Because if Terry go down and Antonio is not picking up as fast, which is not fair to him, right? But it's not picking up fast as a lot of us hope that he will. We're gonna be looking right back at how we looked last year outside of Chig, and this is why Chig is really going to be a very important person to this offense. What type of year do you think he's going to have?
I think he's going to have his biggest year to date. He was kind of stuck in a bad spot in Tennessee. Not a very good offense coordinator. And his quarterback play there was is what it is. It's kind of hard with a rookie quarterback as well. But times that they get him the ball, his run after catch prowess, I think he's just a big wide receiver. And listen, I don't want to discount Ben Sinnott. I think Ben Sinnott is going to play not a major role in this offense, but a role in this offense.
I just need to get 2 first downs. If he give me 2 first downs a game, I'm satisfied.
Yeah. And I think we're going to see a lot of 12 and 13 personnel on the field too. And I think that's going to help our offense as well. And if you go and look back at the Ben Johnson's offenses in Detroit, I mean, he played 12 and 13 personnel.
He did
a lot, and those tight ends there were very, very productive.
Yeah.
So you got him. You got. I know people don't want to talk about this, but Treylon Burks was a highly drafted receiver.
He was.
And was a number 1 for a very, very crappy team. Again, if he can stay healthy, he's got hands. He's got a lot of talent that I really think David Blau and company is going to use, and I think that's going to take some pressure off of Terry McLaurin. And we're going to chalk up his injury last year as a fluke type thing.
Because he came back looking better than what he looked at the beginning of the year. The second time he came back.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because and the fact that Terry is doing the summer program.
Yeah.
all along,
Yeah.
out there in California. He was at all the OTAs. He was out there in California with Jaden
Mhm.
and every one of our skill position players, it looked like. And listen, I'm not a Dami Brown fan. I was kind of disappointed that we didn't go after somebody else. But it was good to see him out there because he does have a rapport with Jaden. And if he could possibly pick up where he left off in the playoffs with us, maybe he can add 400 or 500 yards to the year as well. Terry gets his in between 11 and 1,300 yards. Treylon Burke gets 700 to 800 yards, and then you have Chig getting about 800 to 900 yards. I think that's a damn good season for.
That's a really good. That's a really good season. Yeah,
and I think we could see that, because you think about, again, I'm going back to 2024 when the likes of OZ, the likes of Noah Brown, those guys weren't anything special coming off, and Jaden made them look good. And listen, Luke McCaffrey, before his injury, if you go back and you actually watch the film, this is going back to his rookie year, when the kid gets snaps, and I'm not talking about passes thrown to him, but when he gets snapped, he gets open. He is open. So I think it took some time to build some trust within, and I think Cliff had a lot to do with this too, just where Cliff wanted to go with the ball. But I think he can play a role in this offense as well.
The defense. No, I want to stay with the running backs real quick. Is there a competition for RB1? And do you think K-Tron is an automatic lock for 3? And that last spot is going to be between Ford and McNichols?
I do. As far as the competition for 1, I don't think so. I think Bill, and this has to do with Bill himself. There's a caveat to this, right? How does he look in pass protection in the offseason?
Mm-hmm.
If he's gotten better, I think he's RB1. If he hasn't, then I think there's going to be a competition. I'm not a huge Rachaad White guy as far as running the football. I love him as a pass catcher and a third down back. I think he's going to be great. And he's a good, I think he would be, because I think Bill's more talented overall as a runner than
sure.
Rachaad White.
Sure.
So if Bill can put it all together, I think Bill is going to be RB1. But it's just being able to protect your biggest investment in Jaden Daniels. And if you can't do that, then you're going to have to. It's probably going to be who's got the hot hand type of deal. And as far as K-Tron Allen goes, he is a rookie. We're going to see. I would like him to have that third spot. I think he's going to have that third spot, and that fourth running back is I like Jerome Farr. I liked him in Cleveland. I really, really did. He stepped up well when injuries ahead of him happened, and I think this might be the end of McNichols, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's probably time, right? Like I think he'll still be around.
Mm-hmm.
It might latch on to another team. I think Ford will absolutely latch on to another team. I don't think it's going to be where someone is going to get him off waivers and automatically add him to his 53, but I think he will find a home before the season starts. But when I think about Bill and Bill's pass blocking, right? Has he got better? Because we see he's getting bigger, right? We've seen
that.
Yeah. And he is absolutely the most athletic player in that room. Absolutely, hands down, most explosive, all of that. I mean, he had over 800 yards last year with everything that went on last year. Like sometimes we kind of overlook that.
We do forget about that.
We kind of overlook that, but he produced, right? Like this should be he should be walking into this RB1 hands down, right?
Yeah.
But then when you think about the pass protection part, right? Jaden is going to be under center more. It's not like he's going to be under center. It probably be like 30%, 25, 30%. It's not going to be 6% as what it was with Cliff. Right.
Yeah.
But it's going to be very important when he's because he's going to have his back to the defense more than he has ever had playing football. Right. So it's going to be very important that running back, it protects his backside, right? That's doing what he's supposed to do when he got a play action, these waggles. Like some play actions, you might be the play action and you got to go pick up a blitz right there.
Yeah.
Right. But my question to you is, we're going to have to see that in the preseason.
Yeah.
Like even in joint practices, you see it a little bit, but they still protect the quarter difference. But in the we're going to have to see that in the preseason, see if he can do this. So that goes to tell me, how much do you want Jaden to play?
Well, a good thing about that is you don't necessarily have to have Jaden out there. You can make Marcus that sacrificial lamb out there, practice it. Basically, his preseason is practicing. But if he can do it for Marcus, then he should be able to do it for Jaden, in my opinion.
That's true.
But yeah, we got to see it. We have to see it. And like I said before, you have to be able to protect your prized possession, and that's Jaden Daniels at all costs. At all costs. And I love the fact that, what we've done with our offensive line. And I'm sorry, Scouts, I like the fact that Allegretti has moved to center. And I think he's going to do a lot better. Center, as far as the protection wise goes, is he can man the field and not have to worry too much about his assignment, because, center is basically a backup to your left and right guard. They rarely, take on one-on-one blocks
unless you're playing the Eagles.
Okay, yeah, unless you're playing the Eagles. But I think Allegretti is, and Allegretti and Jaden have that trust. So when you're thinking about Allegretti, Jaden, and whoever your backfield, whoever your running back is, if that's a play action play, those three players right there are going to be most pivotal to making Jaden stay healthy, because Jaden's got this on his shoulders too. He's got to look out for himself as well, because no running back is perfect. No offensive line is perfect. Jaden's got to play smarter than he has before.
Right. And that we're going to have to see it. Right. And when it goes to like how much they're going to play, because because we have the con about having so many competitions across the offense, right, is that in order for it to be fair, you need to see the ball being thrown by the person that's going to be throwing to the ones that's going to be out in the field. So if I really want to see what Van Jefferson can do as a wide receiver 3 or 2, I need to see Jaden throwing him the football.
Yeah.
Right. Because I need to see that. But in order to see that, Jaden is going to have to be out there throwing to these guys. Like the offensive line is going to have Tuntu. If you get a series, be glad. Right. But I just don't think that's going to happen. No. And he doesn't have to. Right. Same thing for Terry. How much is he going to actually play? So it's like
Terry at all, to be honest with you.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So like when it comes to the preseason, we come to these camp battles, how fair are they? Because I'm glad we have Manis and that pretty boy throwing ducks to these receivers that's trying to get a job, right? Right. Yeah. So that's going to be good for them when you talk about the bottom half of the roster for the pass catchers. But how much are you playing these guys in the preseason?
Yeah, not much. I mean, at least your core, your top starters, like your Jadens, like your Tunsels and Terrys, and even Cosme for that matter. You want to get guys in there like your Brandon Coleman's that has the opportunity to play multiple spots to see what he has, because I think that battle with Chris Paul at guard is going to be a big one this offseason.
Yeah.
You want to make sure Allegretti's ready for to take the reins under center. You need to make sure his backup, whoever that's going to be, is going to be Julian Good Jones, or is it going to be the 6th round draft pick Golden? There's some of these battles are going to have to play out in practice, and that's going to be up to Dan Quinn and how physical this training camp is going to be, because it's going to need to be a little bit more physical. I went out to training camp multiple times last year, and it was almost back in those days where it was like Club Med out there, which they went out there for an hour, hit it around just for a little bit, but I've seen a lot harder training camps, in my days of all the years going to training camps. It was not a very intense camp, so to speak. So that's where these joint practices, they're very, very important. I think we got kind of screwed over last year a little bit when the Ravens canceled on us. And also what didn't help, some of the backups is Marcus was out for a lot of training camp. If we remember last year,
he need to play. Like,
yeah.
I ain't trying to hear none
So
of that.
I think having Marcus Mariota as a backup, especially going in, I think he needs to play in a lot in the the preseason games. I think that's going to help some of these battles play out. Having a veteran back there instead of a newbie or like a Hartman or I think that's going to work out better for those Van Jefferson and Diami. I think those two are battling each other and some of these others competitions that are playing out.
When you think about these pass rushers, I think this will be very pivotal. I think they're going to help our secondary a lot if we can get home. We have so many of them, and we think about camp battles. We think about these competitions with the edge rushers as well as with the D line. I don't think it's going to be a lot about who starts, right? It's going to be more about who's going to finish, right? Who's able to play week to week, who's able to play in multiple packages, because I think that's what Durante is going to do, run multiple packages, right? Yeah. So like which one of these pass rushers, right, do you believe is going to have the biggest impact the first quarter of the season? Come straight out the gate.
That's a very tough question. But I am going to say Armstrong, and the reason being is, albeit that he's healthy, which I think he is. Yeah. He was so good last year before he got injured. I think people forget how well Armstrong played. I think he was leading the league in sacks before he got injured. I think he's probably going to be your number one pass rusher. I'm not saying that's a good thing. I just think he's probably going because it's tough, man. Because I like Chase on as well too. I think he's going to.
I really like Chase.
Yeah, I think he's going to be really, really good for us, and I think he's going to wind up scoring a big contract for us. I think we'll wind up signing him. As long as everything goes the way we expect it to go with him, they should probably sign him mid-season. But between those two, I think we got two pretty good and some great depth. But I don't think it's going to be all about sack numbers. I think it's going to be overall because of how they're going to be bringing everybody in and out. It's going to be a rotation. The edge is going to be rotating. The line's going to be rotating because we have the depth to rotate.
All right. Jesse, last question when it comes to Dan Quinn. If we come out flat versus the Eagles and the Cowboys, and we lose both of those games and we come out flat, the Monday morning after the Cowboys game, what's going to be your take about Dan Quinn?
I like Dan Quinn a lot. I think he is the right coach. I think my take might be more on the Adam Peters aspect of it than the Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn can only do what with what he has to work with, to be honest with you. I think every player in the NFL would play for Dan Quinn. I think he's a good coach. Now, it depends on what's flat. Is it the offense? Is it the defense? Because the fact that you got two freshman coordinators coming out, and that is a gamble that Dan Quinn took, So I think it depends on what's going wrong. Why are we flat? How are we flat? Is it the offense? Is it the defense? Is it both? But I had said from the beginning, especially even when Josh Harris kind of took over this team, Harris, going back to his other sports teams that he owns, he usually lets the coaches play out their contracts. So I don't expect anything to happen, especially mid-season. But again, it kind of it depends. I'm pulling for obviously we're all
for sure. Yeah, for sure. We need it. We win.
But if we come out flat, questions need to be answered. And let me
ask you this before you go. What don't you think what hasn't Adam Peters given him to make this team successful?
See, the thing with Peters is it's not what he hasn't given him, it's what he's able to get, what has been available. I think Peters did a gamble when he went and traded for Tunsil and Marshawn Lattimore, because when they got this team, they didn't have nothing to work with,
right?
Hardly any core players. But then we had 2024 come along. All right, and most people would have done the same thing as Adam Peters. Let's go all in on 2025. Hey, let's sign these 1-year deal types, these older veterans, and hopefully steal a trophy. Well, it didn't work out. Injuries just collapsed the season. So, but still, the questions have to be asked. Like, why did you do that? Okay, we know why, but the NFL means not for long. So if you don't show me something's got to change, whether it's Peters, whether it's Quinn. And now I think it kind of depends on, Josh Harris in that aspect. But I would think Josh Harris would take Peters' side before Quinn's, the general managers before Quinn's. Or maybe they both go after the season if we totally crap the bed.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Jesse, I appreciate you for coming through, man. Let everybody know how they can follow you up.
Yeah, you can catch me on X at Jesse's24. And then we have the Bleeding Burgundy podcast on all the podcast platforms on audio and on YouTube at bleedingburgundy.com. And yeah, we will be ramping up here in the next week or two, and once training camp begins, and start doing our 2 shows a week. And in the season, we do a little live show right after the game, or at least most games. And then you catch us on Tuesdays and Fridays at 5:30.
All right. Yep. Appreciate you, Jesse, man.
Man.
Until next time.
Appreciate you having me on.
All right, man. Peace.
All right. Later.
All right. All right, joining us now is the #1 supporter of Van Jefferson in the fan base. They said that this is their impact player for the season. They can't wait to Van Jefferson go out here and prove all of the doubters wrong. Asia, welcome to the lab.
Now, Deuce, don't piss me off. I just got here, and you starting out. Just got here. They're already pissing me off. Talk about some Terry and Arnold. He'll be the best quarterback in the room if we pick him up. And his daggone stats looking just about as bad as Mikey's. Like, don't start with me right now. Listen.
Oh man!
Oh my goodness!
Asia, man. Welcome. It's a joy to finally get you on here, Asia's analyst. Also, the new show starting on Tuesday, Command Hers. I'm excited about. I'm glad you all decided to put that together.
Yeah,
you, lady, E and K. It's been good. So it's 2/3. 2/3 of Command Hers, and I'm looking to make it 3 out of 3 on this next week. And the crazy thing about it, which none of you do, I don't think no one has ever had me to do this, I am going to have to go outside when Lady E joins. Like, we're going to do our portion outside because she loves being outside.
She's like a beat reporter.
Right.
Still like be on the scene. Like, I like that we all have our like different things that we do. Like we bring something different. So it's a nice little mashup. Like, somebody was like, I just need a 4th so you can be the Commander Queens. I'm like, no, bro, we're doing our own thing. Shout out to the Commander Kings. Listen,
for sure,
that's family over there. I love the guys, but we definitely trying to do our own thing, and we have a synergy, and we've been out here trying to get out the mud with our own pages. So I think we ready now. We ready to kind of come together.
So. All right, let's get right into it. Let's talk some football, man. Let's talk some X's and IU. Right? X's and IU, right? The wide receiver room for me, I look at it as Terry and them, right? Terry and them, because everything else is a bunch of what ifs, especially when you're looking at previous years production. Like
Mhm.
anytime we bring a new player in, people will 2021 they did, like I don't care what they did in 2021, right? Like,
Yeah.
I want to know what they did previously. Overall, how are you looking at this wide receiver room?
So I think I'm one of those people where I listen to both sides. So I think I understand both sides of the argument. Because I'm very analytics focused.
Right.
It for me, like I have to see it to see it won't work. That's just how my mind works.
Yeah.
So while I understand all the arguments, I objectively don't have any information to say that it won't work. Now, if we were running back Cliff's scheme with this same room, I have enough data points to say that I don't like it. It's not going to work. You got to have hoopers. You need elite talent throughout you know every position. So you need to have one-on-one kind of ISO players in Cliff's scheme, because the new scheme is supposed to do a little bit more of marrying the run in the past, which I don't think Cliff's scheme did a good job at all, and is actually going to leverage the tight ends a little bit more. I don't see the wide receiver room as being major contributors in terms of outside of like the slot really eating and
Mhm.
Terry moving around. So I am comfortable with Terry and Antonio Williams. I know a lot of people's like he's a rookie. I know what I saw on the tape. His skill set, some of the things you just can't, his route running skills, his attention to details in his route running, those are
Yeah,
things that
that
just
matters.
that's not going to go away. Like you know.
Right.
So I'm really not into big body type of boundary guys. They,
Yeah, me neither.
they don't have a lot of their route trees
Yeah,
aren't all that.
yeah.
They win basically on physicality, large catch radiuses, and they don't necessarily always get separation. I do think that with moving Terry around, that is going to kind of make things easier for him. I don't think Cliff ever ran man beaters or anything like that. And so I did kind of see when you move Terry around, he makes things happen. I think he's a
Mhm.
very smart, heady veteran type of wide receiver. And I'm comfortable with Antonio Williams understanding that the tight ends, this is going to be a lot of tight end action and
Yeah.
running the ball. So with that being said, it's like a lot of our receivers are going to be possession receivers where they're going to
Yeah.
like specifically have things that lean into their traits or skill sets. Like a Treylon Burks might be like a big body third down guy to move the chains or red zone target. I
Mhm.
like Luke. I like Luke when you have everyone else in there and he finds that mismatch. So I like what each receiver in the room can bring to you. Now, for those of you that go, if Terry gets injured, we are screwed. Absolutely right. I still think that we are not there in the succession planning with Terry. And that's why I tell people that I think what a lot of people are looking for is a 1B, right? I just think the discourse is all over the place. People are very emotional about this topic. I watch everybody on all sides of the spectrum have these conversations, and I don't think anybody articulating themselves very well on either side of the spectrum. You guys are just so emotional about this. Like I'm looking, I was asking someone today who really feels strongly about this. I'm like, so do you want a boundary or do you want production? Like, help me understand, like, what are you looking for? Because every time I name, y'all are like, just go get this guy, go get that guy, go get this guy. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I feel like you can
Yeah.
get that production from
Yeah.
people in the room. So I just feel like at this point, I see people just throwing names out there, and I feel like we've jumped the shark a little bit because I don't feel that level of desperation. So I like a Diggs. I like Diggs because I think he's a good zone beater. I like Diggs not because he gives you 1,000 yards. I think he's an elite route runner. I think he
Yeah,
can
for
read
sure.
coverages very well.
Totally.
The reasons
Yeah.
why I like receivers are very specific to their skill sets and traits, and not necessarily the production. I see people asking for Debo. I'm not a Debo girl. I don't like his route tree. I think he's very much a Y back. I think the coordinator has to kind of like get him
Literally.
in space and scheme
Yeah.
him up so that he can kind of function like a running back with the ball in his hand. So, like, I don't want him. We talking about wide receivers, and y'all are asking for a glorified running back. Nothing against Debo, but that's what he is. So when I see stuff like that, I'm like, like, okay, now I think we just have people who don't like the players in the room. And I think that's not the same argument as we need a 1B or we need an insurance plan for Terry. Like, I wish people would just make more effective arguments. You know how I am. I'm a very rational person. I don't really like emotions.
Ain't nobody doing that on the timeline.
Yeah, not
Welcome
on Twitter.
to X. Welcome to the timeline.
Yeah,
Welcome.
I'm like, y'all are way too emotional. Nah,
Welcome.
somebody literally was like, Terry Arnold will be the best corner we have on the roster. And I was like, bro, we just signed Rasul Douglas. Like, what are you talking about? Like, even if you think he's better than Amik, and like, no, like, so people would just be saying anything online.
Yeah,
but
man, it's crazy.
I think I agree with what's underneath all of the arguments. I just think people are doing a very bad job of making their arguments. And then it's people that's established, they're just dug in, that are primarily the ones on the feed trying to change each other's opinions. And I was like, maybe y'all should stop, because it's the same people every week. And I was like, they feel strongly enough about this that stop trying to change their mind.
Asia,
they have a right to feel this way. Stop trying to change
Twitter.
people's mind. I just
welcome to Commanders Twitter. Like, this is going to go. It's like, this is just what it is.
No,
like,
every day I peek to the timeline. I was like, all right, wide receiver room discourse again. Let me try to tweet through it. So how about that? AJ DeBonson and Darren Peter, and then along the day I got
I heard.
I got Utah Jazz people on my feed. I'm like, dog, Utah. I'm not arguing with nobody who live in Utah. If you don't get on my feed, like, we not even in this. You in the Western Conference. Why are you talking to me?
Oh my God! Speaking of arguments, Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero got in a fist fight in Vegas on Friday.
I missed that. See, now I gotta Google. Like, I'm missing a lot of things. I heard he was kind of in the chat talking trash about Bam. I don't know what's going on, dudes. I'm just trying to do my thing. It's a lot going on. And the mid folks are so emotional. I'm like, I'm not used to all that.
Yeah, and when you think about the wide receiver room, like, I'm really looking at these receiver rooms as positionless. Like, when you start talking about the X's and the Y's, and I'm like, I zone out from that, right? Because a lot of the best receivers, the good receivers, and they play all positions.
They play all over.
So, like, just put guys out, because even when you talk about the big receiver, like, people fantasize about the big guy, right? But don't bring me a 6'4" dude that plays 6'3". I got Terry at 6 feet 6'1" that plays 6'4".
Yeah,
right. Like, I don't need that. I need,
he's
if you're
going to
be
better contestant. I know he's a body catch guy, but he's a great contested catch. He catch the ball, he catch the ball. Yeah, and I'm with you on that.
Yeah, right. Like, he brings it down. Like, and his true numbers, right? And we're not talking about volume. We talking about per target, per reception. Like, over the last 5 years, he's been the best tight window receiver in the NFL, right? You know what I'm saying? So, like, give me that guy. Like, don't just try to go out there, give me a big dude that's going to play his exact side. Like, I don't need that. Like, move on.
That's more so what the tight ends are doing in today's NFL. I be telling people that all the time. Like, if all you want is a big body receiver, they're crashing out about Chig not being in the top 10. What has Chig done though? Like, I'm serious, bro. Like that does not bother me, because first of all, y'all are tuning into ESPN and NFL Network and mainstream media just expecting logic, and y'all need to stop. Like, I don't tune into those. Like, they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know anything about the scheme. They're just looking at his numbers. Like, that's how analytics work. I got to look at what you did previously and try to project. So it's like, but no, I agree with you. I need inside out versatility. I need route trees. Can you be an X if Terry goes down? Now, I do agree we don't have that. And I think a lot of people are just like, that's too much to put on the rookie, because people are like, well, we got Antonio Williams. I believe in Antonio Williams, but I don't think it's fair for him to have to, like, carry that load. Like, and I think, we are, and they did, like, people talk like they did not try. They went after Alec Pierce. You can't make people want to come here. Like, and I don't think either one of those wide receivers deserve that kind of payday, but that's just where the market is for wide receivers. So it's like, so it's just, market conditions. I'm looking at what's left. We got a head case on the internet trying to, like, launch his brand, and then we got Diggs who can't stay out of court, bro. Like, and those guys.
Think about this, right? You got the old dude Keenan Allen, right? You got Debo, who's a wide receiver stuck in a fullback's body. You got Diggs, who's the booty bandit. Then you got IU, who's actually still on another team, right?
Like
he's literally still like you can't just sign him.
Out
Right?
there?
Like,
what is
he's
out
still on
there,
another
y'all?
team, right? Like it's nothing out there like that you can be like we can be comfortable saying, oh yeah, let's bring this person. I mean, yes, you go trade for sign, bring somebody in, but the fact of the matter is when people say, well, maybe they not have done anything because they're higher on the room than we are, right? We could have said that about the court.
Higher on the room than we are. I think it's market conditions. I think they're going what's left. We're higher on the room than what's left. But at the same time, we know we need to get someone else, because if they were higher on the room, you don't go after Alec Pierce or Dobbs in free agency in that first wave. They went after.
He don't have no ligaments, bro. Like,
he not ready. When people were doing Tyreek Hill, I was like, Tyreek Hill not even ready to play. The last, like, he hasn't, so I just think this was one of those free agencies.
Arnold can play wide receiver.
Teams apparently have no problem winning.
It's crazy because, like, even when you think about like being high, and I think that's a good point. Of course, they're higher than what they have now because like they tried to go out there and sign wide receivers, right? So that tells you one thing, right? And then the other thing is like they're not going to come out and say, "Oh, we need more firepower." And like they're not going to do it. They just
do that.
They're just going to sign Rasul Douglas.
Yeah, the reason that, like, them being mum on the IU thing and not just coming out and saying we're not
He's
interested.
Another team. It's nothing.
It's like maybe they were interested. Like if he came available.
They can say, bro.
Yeah, it's nothing, and there's nothing they can say there either. I need people to stop because I saw Danny on Grant, and Danny's like, I just don't know why they won't. Like, if you don't shush your elfish looking up, like that man bothers me so. He just is he gives off very like beta male energy. Like, come on, guy, our GM is not going to come out and say anything. Yeah. But I think people just need to stop acting like the receivers that are available aren't washed. Like, come on now, like, come on, D-Hop. They're still these are guys that were big.
What, he 34?
Like, he can't get separation. Come on, I know he big, but come on, he gonna give you what Treylon gives you, which is kind of like possession receiver, third down. And
he's going to give you a flag. He's going to give you a flag football catch. So he's going to give you a spectacular flag football catch. Like, everybody be like, "Oh yeah,
like go get D-Hop." Like within the schematic, like what he's going to do in the scheme, he's going to do the same thing Treylon doing. So why are you going to get D-Hop? Why? My man is older. Like I get what people saying, but let's not just like be so desperate that we're like bottom of the barrel trying to,
I mean, at this point, just go in with you.
Let us go into training camp and see what we have. Like, I don't think none of these.
And even somebody was like, "Well, we could just wait until cut down date." Yeah, and we gonna have Noah Brown and Treylon Burks all over again, right? Like that's what you're waiting for. Like that's what you're waiting for at cut down date.
Yeah, like let's just listen. I'm good. We just gonna have to get through it this year, and I get it, but they did in the first wave, and I thought the first wave of free agency wasn't that strong either. I don't look at Alec Pierce or Dobbs as like elite receivers, but that's what was available. So people just gotta. I just think they're too hard on the whole AP don't care. He don't want to give JD weapons. If you're looking at what's left and you calling them weapons, like bro,
I don't know. Me and Grant, we watched this live. That was the funniest.
Oh, that was funny.
That was the funniest. He was like, bro, he gonna tell me call him. I called him. He going.
He busy. My man got a job. You unemployed. You the unemployed friend, like with nothing to do for it.
Call me back. The money on the line.
The money on the line. I need him to set up a Twitch so bad, dudes. Like I need him to lean into it. Just go ahead and lean into the content creation game and get you a Twitch, and I'll be all in. But he's still trying to do the football thing, and he just need to go on Twitch and just lean in and give us full on entertainment value because he is a funny dude. But it's like
so funny, man. He's so funny.
Just leave our quarterback out of it.
All right, so let's go from offense a little bit. Let's go to the defensive side of the ball. They brought in Rasul Douglas, right? I don't know what's going on with Treylon. The good thing about it, the reports was he had a clean break. I think Will Harris had the similar energy. He was able to come back to end the season off. What's your first thought process? The first thing we hear when they report back when they got to give us injury update that he's on the PUP list.
Who's on the pup list? Trey?
Amos. Yeah.
Amos? You saying if that's something that comes out?
If that's because that's gonna probably be the first thing that we hear.
So y'all think he not progressing?
I hope he's ready, but he was not out there.
That way.
He
I
wasn't
saw
out
it
there
as a
running.
Kilo Witherspoon is trash, and so we
Yeah,
gotta
I'm like-
elevate this floor. That's how I saw the signing. Like,
Yeah, and it could be right. It could be that right because they did their vacation thing right. They came back. They started watching the tape from OTAs and minicamp.
yeah, I think it's.
like, oh no,
I
like
think
this
they don't
Othello
have good
dude might
boundary
not be
depth.
it.
I think it's about the
Right.
boundary depth more than it is about Trey Amos. I'm not
hope
going to
so.
hit the panic button on Trey Amos now. Let me entertain your scenario. If it's Rasul Douglas on one side and Mikey on the other, that's kind of we were getting Trey and Mikey. So I feel like it's about the same. For me, it was always the back end depth that I was concerned about. In my mind, I did not tell myself that they are not all in on Mikey, Trey, and Amik as kind of the 1, 2, 3 guys, right? So that's what, yes, I've moved on mentally from that. I don't have anybody's job being taken. If Trey can't go, Trey hasn't shown me enough. He had a rookie campaign, but he hasn't shown me enough where I feel like it's going to be a drop off for Rasul to come in and kind of like pitch hit from him if he can't go. So I'm good with like that being the answer. But I didn't necessarily see it that way. I saw it as the guy we signed to kind of elevate the floor as the other boundary option is not looking good. And so we gotta, and it could be that they wanted Rasul the whole time as another option in the first wave. And Rasul was like, I'm not trying to do the OTA thing and I want to explore my options. There's some teams out here that's starting to look needy.
I think Seattle. I think I saw something with Seattle was looking for him.
Seattle in Detroit. That room looking Detroit probably was coming to call in. So I think AP was like, I ain't got time to be sitting around. Like, hey man,
bro, you got like the fact. Like, I'm like, come on, bro. Like, we and this is the thing about Ayuk will never play again. And you got people want. I'm like, this dude literally. Not only did he kidnap somebody, he kidnapped innocent people. Like, bro, like this dude kidnapped innocent people, and you got teams that's already had him in for workouts.
Now, here's the thing: I respect Ayuk's rights and free will to handle the situation the way he see fit, and he ain't want no agent. He said that, and he wants to work outside of the system and infrastructure. Look. TA using his leverage and infrastructure and his network. He got an agent that is working the phones, advocating for him. He got lawyers that is handling the case, and then he got Nick Saban as a character reference.
Right.
So it's like it's a little different, right?
Shout
it's
out
still
to Nick Saban, man.
Yeah, it's still an old boys network, okay? And so he got people, he got connections, and now you don't. You got Instagram, and he pissed off his one job reference in Jaden. So like that's just where we are.
I can't believe it, man. Dude that's out here crashed out on social media is more of a head case than somebody that kidnapping innocent people. That's insane.
That's
I mean,
crazy.
he literally kidnapped. Like, I cannot get up. Well, allegedly. Sorry,
Allegedly.
Allegedly. All right. How important is the front seven to this defense?
I think the front seven is really, really important to this defense. Because the back end is like super conservative and in zone. That front end has to get to the quarterback. This is not the type of defense where you can't give the quarterback time, because eventually they will find holes in the zone and get there. So the defense is pretty much really trying to force a lot of quick routes, hot routes, stuff underneath so that you can jump those type of passes and get turnovers and things like that. So the entire back end is looking to jump routes on certain types of route concepts. That's what they are being told to do. So that's a lot of reason why, the corners don't have to be aggressive lockdown man corners. They don't travel with the receivers. They kind of hand them off throughout the zone and things like that. So that's why you saw a great investment into the front seven in the off season. I see a lot of conversation around, they didn't do enough. You guys have to understand the scheme and what the scheme needs. Like, you guys are looking at depth chart, names and things like that, and you're trying to build the roster around schematic needs, which, you know, finally, because I just felt like we didn't do that with Cliff, or it just felt like, I don't know what Cliff or Joe Witt was doing. Like they just like such a random assortment of characters, but a lot of our acquisitions make sense given what the scheme is asking them to do. So
Yeah, Jaden is absolute like it's so funny though, because like you got that one dude that got a job at Metro. You know, Metro always hiring, but like this one friend never got a job. Like,
oh no, I don't recommend people. You're not about to mess up my good name. I don't be recommending people for jobs.
I know
either.
you. Like I know how you rock. I know how you move, bro. No, not at all.
I'll let you know the job is available, and you got to do everything else. You got to apply. I'm not vouching for nobody.
I ain't even telling you that because you gonna put my name on as a reference. Like I ain't
like no, like don't have nobody call me.
Don't call me, bro. Don't have
call me. Nah, have me looking bad.
You gonna be mad at me. You absolutely upset.
Yeah.
At me. How big of an addition? Because I kind of thinking about this yesterday when it comes to Tim Settle. How big of an addition is he to the development of Josiah Newton?
I think it's important that we got him because people keep trying to use like Johnny as kind of a run stopper. He finally gets to be the aggressive single gap penetrator, like aggressive pass rusher disruptor he was meant to be. He no longer has to be out there worried about, you know, trying to run stop or do like, you know, the play a two gap technique. So I think finally getting a nose tackle or space eater will kind of allow Johnny to play true to his technique and his body. He's undersized, so I don't know why we were trying to use him like that anyway. That was like, Joe Witt, what we doing? I don't know, but
that's the thing though. Like a lot of times, like even like we think about the depth, like I think they've done a really good job with the depth, especially on defense. Like I think they did a lot. They might even have done too much in a sense when you think about the front seven, right? But I think they did enough, and I think they are really leaning on those guys to make everybody better. I think they're leaning on them to make the back end better, and I also think they're leaning on them to give the offense opportunities to kind of grow into the offense.
Yeah,
like I think they are really depending on the defense coming out on all cylinders.
I think people just need to like this is going to help JD, like a aggressive defense that can play the field position game, aggressive defense that can get turnovers and flip the field and give him a short field to work with. Like these things do help you. Like how often do we see Jaden having to work from poor field position and have that pressure of eating up all that grass and having to like work a full field of grass to make things happen? It's like now it's like, you know, get him good field position and watch what he can do. So I do think that finally, for the first time in a very long time, Jaden doesn't have to play Superman ball. I think he goes out there knowing he has a bad defense and that he has to make something happen on every possession and he has to score. And I think this will allow him to actually play kind of like live to see another down type of football. Throw that ball away, Jaden. Don't leak out of the pocket. Put yourself at risk trying to make a play. He can kind of play kind of like clock management. He can be a game manager. I know that we use that word as a pejorative, but like I look forward to the day where Jaden can be a game manager. You know?
Yeah. The front seven, I think about Chason, I think about Owe, I think about Armstrong. O'Manahue, Charles O'Manahue, think about him. Digi Wise, like he might be on the outside looking in, right?
I don't know. I like
him. We got to see because Charles O'Manahue can play the run really well.
Versatility,
yeah. So, but Wise is playing really well. I think like on the defensive side, it's going to be interesting to see how they divvy up this 53-man roster.
They have so much. These are champagne problems. I'm not even gonna complain.
There it
is.
Be
some like professional football players that get cut, that get picked up by other teams. Like we be having guys on the team that nobody else wants. Like so, it's like you know. And so I mean that bodes well for competition during training camp, though. Like so, we finally like people gonna get out there and we're gonna see people give their best, right? So. That's all you can ask for. So that's the one thing I'm looking forward to in training camp is like all these guys are going to be very competitive and coming out there putting their best foot forward because no one's guaranteed in that back end of the roster. Some of these guys that we had kind of as starters, there are some people that were starters last year that are now at risk of just either being back in depth or not making the roster. So that just tells you how much they've improved the roster on the defensive side of the ball.
And that's the thing, like years past, someone mentioned it yesterday, I kind of forgot. All of y'all, everybody is starting to run into one. But they mentioned how, like, this year, you can't just go out there and mess up and tell the coach, hey, what you going to do? Because you ain't got nobody else behind me.
Yeah, no.
Like, you can't do that no more.
That's snatch you off the, like, you don't have to make the team. So don't keep messing up.
Right.
They saw what they saw in OTAs, and next thing we know, we signing Rasul Douglas. So that should let you know.
But I'm very interested to see what this defense looks like. I'm very interested to see what this offense looks like. But when it comes to Durante, right? When I think about the 24-second clock, and 24 seconds to 24 seconds to see how he's able to adjust, I think he's going to be okay. I think it's much easier for a defensive coordinator to adapt because I think he got the scheme thing and the formations and the package. I think he got that grip, right?
Yeah,
I think he knows enough.
I think it's like the is how do you deploy and the in-game type of play calling and how you dial it up with these guys and things like that. But I think he's been doing this for such a long time that the game day prep, all that stuff, the scouting, the self-scouting, the adjustments from game to game, I think he's going to be dialed in on that. I think he's going to be fine. It's more so he's a first-time play caller, so he's got to figure that out. But I don't think he's going to come out and just lay an egg like Joe Witt. Like Joe Witt just seemed like, he probably should stay a position coach or something like that. Like he couldn't do it.
Like, you know what happened? Like he recommended him at his Metro job.
Yeah, like DQ hooked this boy up with a job. I think they was like, y'all can take Joe Witt with you when you leave. I think that's what Jerry told him, and so that's all
absolutely
he had.
What happened.
So but yeah, I'm interested to see both of these first time coordinators. I think they have the IQ to prepare them and get the guys ready and to scheme it up and to teach it. Now you got to get it into the game day and see how they call it. And that's what I'm kind of wanting to see how that plays out in the preseason, because that's the big unknown, right? But we're not the only one in the division with new coordinators. So
that's true.
The Eagles have a new play caller on the offensive side. Dallas have a play caller that's never done it before on the defensive side. So for people to be acting like we are the only team, there was so many hirings this year. Like, we're not the only team with first-time play callers. That is kind of the trend in the league right now, is taking these quarterback coaches and stuff and turning them into offensive coordinators. Like, they have Sean Payton over there with the Broncos, and Sean Payton is giving up the play calling to the quarterback coach as the new OC. So that's kind of the direction. So we're not the only ones. And there'll be some growing pains, but I think they'll figure it out. These guys are starting to be really, really smart. Like, I don't think it's that hard for a lot of them. Look what the Seattle coach did in a couple years. It's kind of like a first-time head coach. Yeah. He got it there. He figured it out fairly quickly. So you either have it or you don't.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing with these players. So giving people 4 years and then they leave and then they come back and we think they're going to be better than what they was when.
We don't have to do that. Like, just believe them when they show you who they are.
Oh man, this was great. This was great, Asia, man. I appreciate it. We definitely gonna have to tap back up before the season starts for sure. And I also want to have the command hers on here all at the same time.
No, definitely.
Matter of fact, I need to put my bid in now. Like, let me look at my calendar.
You think you're gonna be busy?
Yeah, because I know y'all gonna be super busy. I know everybody trying to call y'all up. Absolutely appreciate it, man. Everybody, let everybody know where they can find you.
You can find me over at Asia's Analysis on YouTube and also Asia's Analysis on Twitter. So
and I gotta tell you, like I have two producers, right? Like, they don't get paid, right? I'm just saying it. Like, sounds good to have it, right? Two of my boys that help me out, but they've been out. But one of them, we call him Stat Man. Like, he gets all the numbers, all the stats, all the analytics. Like, he gets me all of that stuff, a lot of that stuff. And when we was talking about you, and he was looking at your page, like, what program is she using?
What program am I using?
He was like, yeah, like what program is she using?
Claude. I know in my head what I'm looking for and trying to model, and I just have my chat bot trained, and then I just stress test the chat bot. But like the chat bot will pull all the data. You just got to know how you want to present it and model it. And I've done so many of those presentations that you know. I'm not a gatekeeper, but
because he was like, he's like, what did she use? I was like, I don't know. I said, maybe she like is using her job software. Like, I don't know.
No, it is. Listen, I like Claude. I don't really like Chat GPT, but Claude is that girl. She, you know, so I'm just basically like, I have the idea and I sit down in Claude and I go, I want to run a model. And then I keep tweaking the model and I know how I want to project or make it look. And it's all just, and then I check the sources of where they're pulling the data. And sometimes I'll see something that doesn't make sense or contradicts. And I was like, check that data point again. But a lot of it is just, you have to know what you're trying to model and what you want it to look like. And the bot can't do that for you. But so yeah, that's all I do.
Yeah,
so, you know,
because he was amazed. He's like, what is she using? We gotta figure out what that is.
I like Claude. So yeah.
All right, Asia, appreciate you for coming through, taking the time, man. It's very appreciative.
Oh, no problem. Anytime.
All right, peace.
Thanks for having me.
All right, peace.
Bye.
Peace. Oh boy. All right, that's a wrap on day 3. We will be back on Sunday at 6 o'clock. We got 5 or 6 coming in the building. Gerard was supposed to be here today. He had something to come up, so he's jumping until Sunday. So we got a full slate on Sunday. So be there at 6 o'clock on Sunday for day 4. We got 30 plus. We in the building, man. Thank you so much for joining. Appreciate you. I know your time is very valuable for you to spend it with me. I absolutely appreciate it. Remember, do it because you love it, not because it loves you. One beat, one sound, one heart, one love.